Hi, I'm Ron. I'm a first year dental student at Plovdiv Medical University, and I'm here to talk about my first month at university. So essentially, moving in wasn't too much of a hassle. It was pretty nice. I mean, my apartment has basically everything I need, and then fortunately enough, my landlord also provided me stuff like the carpets and like blackout curtains, just additional stuff. Settling in process, it's obviously like different to everyone, but for me, I was comfortable with a couple things like just cleaning and keeping everything in a nice environment. Although my difficulties was probably with cooking, just because like I miss my mom's cooking. So first week of university, it was pleasant. It was nice. We got to see our lecturers, our practical teachers, and they're all quite nice. Also, we also learnt about we got told about our syllabus and just what we have to do for our first semester for our final exams here and there. Personally, myself, my week is pretty nice, to be honest. It's not too busy. I don't have any lessons on the weekend, and most days I don't have to wake up too early. I'd say one day I have to wake up at half. I've got one lesson at 8, so I have to wake up quite early for that one. But apart from that, everything else is pretty chill. I usually study. I'm a morning person, so I prefer studying right in the morning, waking up early, and then when I come home, whenever I come home from either a lecture or just after like 5 or 6, I just start my studying for like 1 or 2 hours. But it depends. I try and do about 3 hours a day, so it could be 1 hour in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, or just nothing in the morning and 3 hours in the evening, something like that. I would say high school to university, there is like it's quite a big difference, but I would say it's much better university, just because high school is I think, very strict, compact sort of system where it's like you don't get as much freedom, whereas university you get a bit more freedom, but obviously with the freedom it comes with responsibility, and you have to make sure you know what you're doing. To prepare, I would say definitely, for example, for anatomy, I would say perhaps if you're a dental student, I would say just maybe look up on the skull, anatomy of the skull. I would say definitely make sure you learn some of Bulgarian, some phrases just to say, because if you're going to be studying here for 6 years, you're gonna have to be able to communicate with anyone here. So I'd say learn some Bulgarian, skull anatomy. Apart from that, I'll just say I don't know, just get ready for a whole different lifestyle. I mean, you're growing up now, so you're gonna have to cook food for yourself. You're gonna have to go to the supermarket by yourself. You're gonna have to travel by yourself. So first lessons, we pretty much just went straight into the syllabus. So we just, for example, physics, we're on mechanics and rheology. So we went through sound waves, mechanical waves. For each of our lessons, we pretty much straight just went into actually learning. So it was pretty interesting. Going to Bulgarian lesson, the teacher literally just does like repetition and repetition, and like you actually just remember it after that, which is pretty interesting. So first week Bulgarian language lesson, just did the alphabet and a couple phrases here and there. I'd say cytology, we did microscopic slides first week. We looked at microscopic slides and obviously the lecture lessons. Biology, just going over basically like A-level content, meiosis, mitosis. In the first week in anatomy, we were going over like the upper limbs of the body, so like the scapula and all those parts. And then what other subjects? I do Latin as well, so Latin, we're going over the first, second declension, and then sport is a chill lesson. You just do whatever you want. So we just play basketball sometimes, football or netball or badminton or something. We just play something. I would say the most interesting subject. I'm in like I say three-way tie between them. I actually really enjoyed Bulgarian because it's actually pretty funny, and my teacher's pretty good. Anatomy is pretty interesting, just seeing different bones and stuff. I would say they're all fairly interesting, but to be honest, Physics, medical physics has been really interesting because after my GCSEs, I just didn't think I would be doing physics again, and I really disliked physics at the time. I mean, learning it was fine, but it's just I was never really good at physics. So after GCSEs, I really thought I was just not going to do it again, and I was really happy. And for A levels, I didn't pick it either. However, found out we had to do physics here, so I was disappointed initially. But to be honest, like the actual content we're learning is fairly interesting. Medical physics we just do sound. Right now we're doing like sound and sound waves, different types of waves. We're doing ultrasound, infrasound, heart measuring blood pressure, all just a bunch of different things. I think the hardest subject so far would either be, it could potentially be biology, just because of how much content there is in to learn. There's just so much to learn in biology. However, I would also say medical physics is pretty hard because there's also a fair amount of content, and because we haven't done physics in a long time, most students, it's kind of just everything's new, whereas biology, it's mainly A-level content that we're learning again. So obviously final exams happen in January, but we have colloquiums constantly happening. For example, cytology, anatomy. I've got an anatomy colloquium coming up based on the skull, which obviously need to do well on that one. Colloquium is kind of like, it's like it's an exam, but it's essentially like an exam where depending on the marks you get or the percentage you get, you could be exempt from a certain section of the final exam, which kind of decreases the pressure on you as a student, because there's just less things to remember for your final exam. Also, but some colloquiums are kind of like UK end of topic exams, end of topic term tests, where it's just like there's no exemption, but it's just a test based on what you've been learning so far, just to get ready for the final exam in January. What you should expect here is like just a different environment. I mean, as in like, for one, the weather's completely different. It's like people as well. Like, most people are really friendly, but also you need to be prepared because not everyone speaks English. So obviously you want to actually be able to converse and make a conversation with someone. Learn how to say thank you. Learn how to say hello. Learn how to say goodbye. Culture shock though, as in it's like I didn't have a huge culture shock. It's kind of similar to me, but I would say it's like, make sure to know how to do basic stuff like cook for yourself, how to budget, but like how to budget so you don't overspend. Also, just because it's like when you come here and if you don't know how to properly cook or just cook basic stuff, then you're going to struggle, just because you're going to just go like eat takeaways, and obviously that's not healthy, and also it's just a waste of money in a sense. Oh, nationalities is like, it's multicultural. I'm friends with just a bunch of different people, friends with Chinese people, friends with Indians, Pakistani people, friends with some people from Norway. I know a couple like, not Australian, what's it called? Italian. I know a couple of Italian people, German people. There's just a variety of different languages and cultures coming into this first year at Plovdiv Medical University. I've explored like a fair bit of the town. I've gone to there's just a variety of shopping places you can go to. There's just so many different food places you can go to, and just, I don't know, it's just like the view is just crazy. It's really nice. It's just like it's just different everywhere you go. It's like you see one way you just see like cars and like buildings, big buildings, and then another place you just see like a mountain or a hill or the Alyosha statue. So it's nice. The weather is like it's actually really nice. In the summer, it's meant to be like, in the summer it's warm, it's nice and hot, even kind of too hot. It's crazy hot here. And then when it hits November time or like December, it's pretty cold. It's like right now it's just raining a bit, but to be honest, it's a nice contrast, because before this rain super hot. So now it's like a nice contrast to have the rain again. Food in Bulgaria, yeah, it's pleasant. It's nice. It's like there's loads of places you can go to, and obviously there's still the standard like McDonald's here and stuff. And but yeah, like also I personally just like to cook myself, so I don't know, just make spaghetti or rice or just anything like that, to be honest. There's loads of halal places, loads of halal food places, loads of halal butchers, and there's also the Jamia Mosque right in the centre of the town. So there's for Muslim students there's loads of things. You should bring. I brought a lot of stuff. I brought like a rice cooker. I brought some you need adapters. Like you need to buy adapters. But I brought a rice cooker, adapters. I brought like a kettle. Some flats would have all these things with it, but it's not guaranteed that they would, and also your landlord might not have provided it for you. So what you can also do is you can purchase like your you can purchase lab coats here as well, but I recommend just if you want to just get a lab coat from the UK, I don't know, from Amazon or something, or even like a lab coat from your time at sixth form or secondary school. Also, I would say you need gloves for anatomy work, for when you're looking at like cadavers and stuff. I would also say obviously bring pen and paper, but make sure you bring blue pens, because everything you have to write everything in blue, like your exams and stuff. So blue pens, bring calculator, pencils, ruler, whatever. Notepad, get your laptop, get your obviously electronic devices. I would say, and as for books, I would say maybe you can either buy a physical copy of like a Grey's Anatomy, or just get a PDF version online. But most of the books you just buy when you start uni, as in like your teachers will tell you get this book and stuff. Alternatively, you could just ask any upper year people, or everyone's friendly here, so you can easily make an upper year friend, and they can just give you their books. Or to get books, it's super easy. So what I take to lecture is like, obviously I take my phone just in case I need to record the lecturer, but I also take some water, and to actually take my lecture notes. I mean, some students they take laptops, some students old-fashioned pen and paper. I take my iPad and with my Apple Pencil, so I can it's like the feeling of pen and paper, but it's also everything's saved digitally, so then I can also just record the lecture from my iPad as opposed to having my phone out. And in the lecture I just use my iPad, get the PowerPoint slide up right on top of the PowerPoint, and just make a like split screen, and then PowerPoint and notes on the other section. During the practical lessons or even lectures, the teachers tell you the name of tell you the site that you should go on to get your lectures, or just any information about either the syllabus or just syllabus information, exams information. I hope you enjoyed the video about my first month at university, and I'm hoping my second month and further months can be just as good as this first month. And if you have any queries, any questions about either moving in or just any general question, then just write it down in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed the video.